What's up, guys? Well, life sure comes at you fast. One moment Antonio Brown is trying to help the Pittsburgh Steelers win their third straight AFC North division title and vie for a Super Bowl. The next, he's doing everything he can to get himself traded. How in the world did we get to this point? We all knew that Brown has enjoyed stirring up the drama throughout his career, but spoiler alert, there are always guys like that in the NFL. Brown keeps producing on the field, so the Steelers just put up with it. But you have to wonder if his behavior over the final days of the 2018 regular season spelled strike three. Are the Steelers fed up and simply ready to move on from their star wide receiver? If you gather up all the facts, yes, he'll be in the Hall of Fame. Yes, Steelers fans will look back fondly on number 84, who broke out in 2014 to emerge as the NFL's best wide receiver. But all good things must come to an end. Peyton Manning left Indianapolis, Brett Favre left Green Bay, and Joe Montana left San Francisco. There are lots of reasons to believe that Brown is unhappy and wants out of town. So how did it get to this stage? We're here to explore the facts and answer that very question for you. I'm Jason Biondo, and today we present the real reason why Antonio Brown wants to leave Pittsburgh. Don't forget to subscribe and put on your notifications because we post videos every single day. Every day's a new video. You should definitely subscribe. It's a great idea. There was no shortage of drama for the Steelers at the start of the season. Pro Bowl running back Le'Veon Bell went on his promise to join the team for Week 1. Even though it was said time and time again that Bell would rejoin the team soon, he never showed. The Steelers fared just fine without Bell, as second-year back James Conner rushed for 973 yards and 12 touchdowns despite missing 3 games. But behind the scenes, they were dealing with a troubling Brown, who started off his season by clashing aplenty with the Pittsburgh media. Before the season started, Brown called Pittsburgh Post-Gazette reporter Ed Bichette a clown for tweeting about him leaving practice with a noticeable limp. Brown got angry at ESPN reporter Jesse Washington over a remark about the All Pros Instagram account. Brown tweeted, "Wait till I see you, bro. We gon' see what your jaw look like." Of course, he deleted it. This is the 2010s. You can't get away with tweeting garbage like that. Brown would apologize for his action in a statement. In the early stages of the season, a fan tweeted how Brown wouldn't put up good stats if he was on another team. Brown replied with a tweet that challenged the Steelers to trade him. That also caused a stir, since, Pro Bowl players shouldn't be demanding trades, even if they're only responding to social media trolls. That was just the latest chapter of Brown's drama-filled season, but oh man, it was getting worse. But again, Brown played a central part of the Pittsburgh offense. After a slow 1-2-1 start to the season, AB and the Steelers rallied to win 6 in a row. All was looking promising again in the Steel City. During the winning streak, Brown had a trio of 100-yard games. That after he had failed to reach the century mark through Pittsburgh's first 4 contests. However, things began going south for Brown and the Steelers in November. Pittsburgh made a plethora of errors and lost a sloppy road game to the reeling Denver Broncos. A week later, Pittsburgh blew a 16-point lead at home to the Los Angeles Chargers, and they lost on a last-second field goal. Following a third straight road loss to the Oakland Raiders, Pittsburgh bounced back with a pivotal home win over the New England Patriots. They stood at 8-5-1 and needed to win out in order to clinch the AFC North. Despite great efforts by Big Ben and AB in Week 16 against the New Orleans Saints, the Steelers made too many costly mistakes and lost by a field goal. Little did we know that the Steelers' season was virtually over right then and there. That's because after the Week 16 game, Brown's tension with the Steelers escalated to another level. According to a reporter from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, Brown and Ben Roethlisberger got into an argument during a practice. The confrontation ended with Brown allegedly throwing a football in Big Ben's direction and screaming, "I'm done." It was also reported that Brown was angered by the fact that the Steelers voted Juju Smith-Schuster team MVP for the 2018 season following their Week 16 loss to the Saints. And for those who don't remember, it was during that contest in New Orleans where Brown put up 14 catches for 185 yards and 2 touchdowns, while Juju lost a costly fumble late in the game that proved to be the final nail in the Steelers' coffin. Brown skipped a mandatory meeting ahead of their Week 18 contest, and he was a no-show for practice. One unnamed Steeler said that Brown didn't return his phone call. That left head coach Mike Tomlin no choice but to bench Brown for the final game against the Cincinnati Bengals. The Steelers barely managed to beat the bangled up and awful Cincinnati team 16-13. Unfortunately for Pittsburgh, the Baltimore Ravens held on to beat the Cleveland Browns and clinched the AFC North title, knocking the Steelers out of the postseason in the process. It was initially ruled that Brown wasn't able to play because of a knee injury. My knee. But we all learned the real truth after. So the Pro Bowl wide receiver, despite finishing with 104 catches for 1,297 yards and a career-high 15 touchdowns, touchdowns, is apparently no longer happy in the Steel City. Now reports have been coming out left, right, and center that the Steelers are ready to trade Brown. ESPN's Adam Schefter reported that the door is open to a trade, and some around the league do expect it to happen. As the reports about Brown misbehaving continued, 49ers star Richard Sherman, Jimmy Garoppolo, and George Kittle looked to Twitter and tried recruiting him to the San Francisco 49ers. And I mean, hey, why wouldn't Brown want to join the 49ers? This is a team that is on the up. With Garoppolo, Sherman, Kittle, and Matt Breida, the franchise cornerstones are in place here. The 49ers have all the cap space to make a play for Brown, if he wants to go there. If Brown wants to stay in Pittsburgh, well, he shouldn't be playing Twitter games with players from another team. You have to interpret this latest social media shenanigan as another way of Brown showing his discontent in Pittsburgh. Plain and simple. Tomlin and the front office put up with Brown's antics and behavior for 9 seasons. Remember when he live streamed the Steelers locker room following a 2016 playoff win over the Kansas City Chiefs? The video caught Tomlin using plenty of curse words and insulting the New England Patriots. Guess what? The Patriots crushed them in the AFC Championship game. You think Brown's video lit a fire in their bellies? No matter how much Big Ben has tried getting the ball to Brown, no matter how much the Steelers win, no matter how much he leads the league in receiving, Brown just seems to hate it in Pittsburgh right now. And he won't really say why. There's always a breaking point for the Steelers with high character players. Franchise great James Harrison was released late in the 2017 season after complaining about his playing time. He signed with the rival New England Patriots. Sure, the Steelers put up with his attitude problems and dirty play on the field, but after over a decade, it was time to move on. And this could be the same for Brown. Remember, this organization traded drama-making wideout Santonio Holmes to the New York Jets in 2010. That was a year after his heroics in Super Bowl 43. They didn't care what he did for them a year earlier. It was time for them to clear out any form of toxin in the locker room. And Brown seems to know this, which is why it sounds like he wants to get the heck out of the Steel City. He knows if he keeps poking at the bear, aka the Pittsburgh coaching staff and front office, he'll force himself out of town. According to Spotrac.com, Brown's cap hit over the next 3 years will be $22.165, $18.34, and $19.54 million. The Steelers would love to get out of that contract, given that this man is now in his 30s. Wide receivers at this stage can slow down at absolutely any time. There are plenty of teams who would love to make a trade for Brown. When healthy, he's the game's most dominant wide receiver. He puts up 100 catches and 1,000 yards a season like clockwork, but that doesn't mean another team still can't make the most of his talents. Check out all the other folks who think Antonio Brown needs to get out of the Steel City. Mike Tanier of Bleacher Report and Ray Fittipaldo of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette have good reasons why. Tomlin also promised that the Steelers were going to make changes in the offseason, though he wouldn't emphasize what those would be. With Vance McDonald, James Conner, and Juju Smith-Schuster all enjoying breakout years, it's safe to say the Steelers' offense could win without Brown. The Steelers made it back to the Super Bowl after trading Holmes. They can manage without Brown. They have every incentive to trade Brown and get his hefty contract off their hands. Although trading or releasing him would still come with a significant cap hit for Pittsburgh. But it's a small price to pay in order to rid themselves of this unneeded drama. This is a prideful organization that has been home to more NFL legends than any other. The greats like Terry Bradshaw, Jack Lambert, Lynn Swann, Troy Polamalu, and Jerome Bettis played for the logo, not for name on the back of the jersey. If a player has ever wanted out of Pittsburgh, the franchise has had no problem of letting him go. For the most part, this organization has been built around integrity, respect, teamwork, and winning. Brown doesn't display any of that in Pittsburgh now, and winning isn't enough for him to be happy. This guy has had too many clashes with coaches and players. Brown can't even sacrifice his own selflessness to do everything in his power to help the Steelers win games. So there you have it, folks. Antonio Brown has displayed in more ways than one that he wants out of Pittsburgh. Now it's up to Tomlin and the front office to find the right destination and send him packing. My money's on the Jets, because I'm a Jets fan and we could really use him. And actually, they could offer some good things. So Tomlin and the front office, if you're listening, give it a thought. That's all I'm saying. It also seems like he won't break Hines Ward's record for the most receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns in a Steelers uniform after all. You could say that Brown was a better receiver, but Ward didn't have an ugly departure like Brown is about to endure in Pittsburgh. The writing has been on the wall for a while now. It's not the way the Steelers fans wanted it to end, but Brown has given this franchise no choice. If this guy isn't all in, he has no place on that team. Brown will certainly go down as one of Pittsburgh's all-time greatest athletes. Who knows? Maybe the man even gets his jersey number retired someday. But for now, we continue to await the next chapter in the Antonio Brown saga. And the chapter will likely be a trade, if we had to guess. If Antonio Brown gets traded, where do you think he will land? Join us in the comment section below. Make sure to follow myself and Total Pro Sports on social media. We post great content all the time. At least go check out our profiles. Like, go give it a look. Be like, oh wow, that's a really funny Instagram. Wow, that's a dope tweet. And if you like us, then follow us. And if you don't, then you don't have to follow us, but we still appreciate you either way. We also appreciate likes, so if you like this video, give it a like. Takes one click. It's dope, right there. If this is your first time around TPS, make sure to subscribe because we post videos every single day. Every day is a new video. Again, every day is a new video, so subscribe. You could always unsubscribe, but you shouldn't because every day is a new video. Of course, thanks so much for watching. I'm Jason Biondo, and I'll see you next time.
My knee.